Ignore the sound of my dog chewing her bone because the dog's gotta do what a dog's gotta do. I'm gonna keep this video short, and it's really just play this video in the background if you feel like you don't want to stare at my face and you feel like you want some type of podcasty vibe, because this is a good little tidbit of information that might just reaffirm you in terms of where you already are or what you already know. I'm not saying anything that you probably don't already know or have internalized somewhere deep down. In my short yet complicated life, I have made a ton of mistakes. Like a ton, like my parents used to hate me kind of mistakes. I mean, not really. We have a good relationship now, but I wanted to come on here and talk about the entire spectrum of people, because this is what we do as people, right? We subconsciously manifest the kind of person we want, and sometimes we're doing it for the wrong reasons. So I just wanted to get into what I've personally learned. Keep in mind, this is my personal experience from accidentally manifesting the worst types of people, especially in relationships. So let's get into it. So, first and foremost, I don't think I knew my worth growing up. I mean, as a teenager, up until I hit maybe 20 years old. That's when I was like, okay, you are who you surround yourself with is a completely true. It's not just a concept, it's the truth. You are who you surround yourself with. Why was I attracting and pulling in people of certain habits and behavior patterns and tendencies? Because I was exactly the same. Not to say that there's anything wrong with anybody, whatever level they're at in their life, wherever they are in their journey, but I was pulling in people who were not treating their body and mind and soul as a spiritual safe haven for themselves, meaning they were letting people in, whether that be their friends or their relationships or even their family. They weren't protecting themselves, and that energy spread onto me. The way that we connect as humans is important, because think about energy like little particles floating around, right? Those people's little particles from whatever they're going through, whether you want it to or not, whether it's conscious or subconscious, are going to eventually float their way in and get into your system. I was gatekeeping positive energy from entering my life, and instead, I was opening a portal for a bunch of negativity to come in, for a bunch of low frequency people, low frequency vibrations, because I was lowering my energy and my own self worth. Now, this is something that we do every single day, whether that's giving apologies that we don't actually owe, or, stooping a little bit low just to please someone else, or maybe not saying something, not speaking up for yourself in a moment where you think later, damn it, I should have said this or I should have said that. This is something that we all do on a daily basis. And to this day, I'm trying to cut this habit of speaking these things out loud that I don't actually mean, because they're dragging my energy down. So yes, I was opening this portal, and I had people who weren't treating themselves good, and it was rubbing off on me. What I didn't realize at the time is that when you are somebody who has it in you to be an extremely powerful and spiritual person, those people aren't just around you because they like your company or they enjoy your company. They know how powerful you are, and they want you to think that you're down at their level. Like, no, you're not at their level in reality, because one day you're meant to soar high. You're meant to be up here. They're meant to stay down here, and that's the reality of it. That's not to say go hate on people, go disrespect people's lives, disrespect what they want, their careers, their futures, their families. This is just to say the natural energy and alignment of the world. There are people who are high frequency, high functioning, highly motivated and structured and disciplined individuals. That doesn't mean that doesn't mean there's no fun involved or mistakes, but there's people who are meant to soar, and there are people who are always going to stay at the same level. And these people, for some reason, their entire lives are going to be leeches. Like, they are going to try to grab onto your energy because they see that you are in a higher place, or you have the potential to be in a higher place. So for a long time, I was just kind of letting people hang on to me coming in, because I would open my door to everybody. I remember having a New Year's party one year and just letting so many random people stay at my house for like 3 days. Like, for just 3 days. And like, I was accommodating everybody. I was the person to go get them water. Like, anyways, I don't need to get that deep into it, but I've put myself into a lot of scenarios that I just did not know my worth or deserve. Like, okay, I'm going to give you another few examples because maybe this is something you can relate to. Because if somebody had told me these stories, maybe I would have been like, okay, I do that thing, or I've been there, or I've been in a similar situation to that. Whether it's like, my ex-boyfriend gaslighting me and saying that he wasn't cheating except he gave me an STD. Where did that come from? There's this thing where men, women, partners, whatever, will lie to your face and you don't draw the line, right? That's a whole different thing because relationships can get messy. Now you're like in a whole different world. That's a whole different psychological thing. But another example is going on dating apps. Swiping through the dating apps, which I still do on occasion, except I'm extremely picky now and it's extremely rare that I ever meet up with anybody. But going through dating apps and just going on dates, hooking up, having just randomly with men that I met immediately, men that really didn't deserve my time or energy at all. Because in reality, here's how I think about it. Do I see myself with them or into them or invested in them in 3 to 5 years? No. I'm gonna be so elevated that I would never even lay eyes on that same guy that I just slept with. It came into light 2 years ago. I need to be careful with everybody that I'm around because once again, their energy rubs off on you. You don't know these people. And that's not to say don't have fun. I'm not somebody who's gonna sit here and be like, oh, if you have sex, you're a hoe. Heck no. That is not something I want to say at all because everybody is different. But to some extent, I think what a lot of us do is we victimize ourselves because we spend a lot of time doing things exactly like I just said, scrolling through dating apps, linking up with random people, and then just feeling this empty hole afterwards that is literally never going to be fulfilling. Because what is fulfilling? Let's talk about that. That's way more important. Your passions. What are your passion projects? You should have at least 1 to 3 passion projects going on at all time. Like for me, I'm like trying to get this vlogging shit done because I used to do it a lot, right? I have like this checklist, this daily checklist of the things I do. My pet care is extreme for me. I know it sounds silly, but like the dog is a hobby. Like the dog and I, we have hobbies together. We like to go outside together. And then I also am working on like cleaning my house right now. As you can see, it's a mess behind me. These are the things that are gonna fill this hole when you are scrolling on Hinge and you're like, I need to see a guy tonight. Like, no, you don't. Look at the 2 hands in front of you. Look at these 2 hands. Do you know what these can do? I can pick up my phone and scroll, or I can pick up this water and take a sip. Like, I can put these headphones on. Yeah, right? I'm just describing things I can do with my hands, right? Well, I can take these 2 hands and these 2 feet and get the fuck up and start cleaning my house if I wanted to. And you know what? Take the first step. You will be astounded by what you can accomplish if you just take the first step. Your habits will snowball from there. So let's say you're like, I really don't feel like going to the gym today. I really don't feel like doing this or that. And I love this sentence. Choose your hard. Do you want it to be hard to get out of bed? This is what I thought at 6 in the morning this morning. Do I want it to be hard to get out of bed? Or do I want it to be hard to literally wake up in the middle of the day and feel like shit because I didn't get up and do my morning routine and go to the gym? There's 2 options. I would rather have a hard time getting out of bed, if I'm honest. And when we think this way, we start to associate it with the negative habits that we have around letting people into our lives. Choose your heart. Is it harder to go a month, a day, a week, even a year without sex? Or is it harder to meet another failed situationship that just doesn't feel right and causes muddy waters and muddy energy within your life that you can't really go in reverse? You're just gonna have to learn from that experience, which is fine. I've been doing that shit. I've been doing that. We all make mistakes, but when you start to implement these positive thought cycles are the concept of cycles being important, then your life is going to change. And when I say cycles, I mean, think about a cycle like this. I'm going to put a cycle in perspective like this. I have a wipe, right? I wipe down my kitchen countertop, right? Now, I could either keep spending money. Let's say money is energy, right? I could keep spending money on more single-use products. I'm going to take a Kleenex, I'm going to wipe down the table, I'm going to throw it out. I'm going to take a Kleenex, I'm going to wipe down my computer, my piano, I'm going to throw it out. I'm going to take a Kleenex, I'm going to wipe down my counter, I'm going to throw it out. Or you could buy one cleaning product wipe, like a washcloth or something of that sort. I know you guys have seen those ads of those paper towels that are like 1,000,000 times more absorbent and last for several uses, right? Or even like something you can throw in the wash because that's a cycle, and you can get use after use after use after use after use of that, use after use after use. And that way, if money is energy, you're not spending that much money on that product, but you're getting, how much use are you getting out of it? What's the ratio? How much energy or money are you putting into this product versus how much use are you getting out of it? You're putting energy into this one product, you're putting it in one time, you're buying this one time, and you're getting endless uses out of it. Or you're putting in money that you have to keep putting in, energy that you keep putting in just for the product to be thrown out. So I started to think of life like this. I thought, wait a minute, if everything was in these closed, sustainable systems, life would be so much easier. Like life would sort itself out almost. You're getting more for your buck, like more for your energy, more for your soul. And that's how I think about people too. Like, we don't like the concept of dedicating our time to a partner, right? We want to throw people out like they're single-use products and try the next one. It's so easy. It's because we have fast food, fast fashion, fast dating. We have all these fast things in this culture. But realistically, being with somebody who's right for you, even friendship-wise, or even making family connections that are right for you, that's a long-term, closed cycle decision. So I wanted to emphasize that. That is me knowing how much I can give back to people, because it's not, life isn't supposed to just be about you. Stop thinking about yourself all the time. I know this video is about us, but ultimately I'm making this video for you, and that's more important than me. To me, I really do want to help people. I think a bit of humility combined with putting up your guard, because you need to protect your precious soul, with knowing your worth and understanding that you are the only person that can open portals into bad energy of people who are filled with hatred and ego and jealousy and envy and laziness and greed and all of this stuff. This is the way that you're gonna conquer, eventually, slowly, because it takes a lot of time. You're gonna conquer yourself back, if that makes sense, and you're gonna understand who you are to your full capacity and not let that negative energy in. This is not a linear journey, but it is an upward hill, and I'm not going back. We're not going back down. I'm not going back down. I might fumble a little bit here and there, but yeah. So I'm just kind of emphasizing this for myself too, because I think I'm on a fucking roll, and I want you to feel like you're on a roll too. And I want this to be motivation, and I want us to snowball off each other. And yeah, so leave any comments on how you feel. I want to keep this short because it's like my first talking video, but I want to come on here and I want to tell like long stories where I have a little bit less attitude, because I'm kind of like pumped up right now. Thank you for watching if you made it all the way through, and please subscribe to my channel, because I post not just shit like this, but I post a lot of adventures and stuff around New York City. I want you to see my journey. I want you to see how far I've come. So yeah, let's like stay in touch or whatever. Because also, I make really good music. I'm advertising myself. Anyways, thanks.